1 year, someone did a portrait of Bill Cosby. Wait. Did it entirely out of canola seeds. The other word for canola seed,
Yes.
rapeseed. It's genius, and it got rejected. Isn't that amazing? Brilliant, right?
Wow. Crop
Brilliant.
art has so many levels to it.
You have no idea.
Please welcome to the stage 2 delicious Chicago hot dogs. Complimentary. It's Lizz, Winstead, and Marcella Arguello. Come on out. Good to see you. Hi, thank you for being here. Welcome back. Hi,
Thank
hi.
you. This is a crazy train here. This is like a mess.
So high. Wow. It took me for a while to get back to the ground. All right, welcome. So you both performed. You had an abortion comedy show this Monday.
Yes.
L'Abortion Variety Hour, a cavalcade of cooch.
Yes. It did not disappoint.
There was a lot of cooch.
A lot
A
of
lot of cooch.
A lot of cooch. We had, the highlight of the show was, the reason I'm in D.C. is because I feel like Democrats need to really learn about, since abortion's on the ballot, people are woefully ignorant about actually how it works. So in order to educate people, we created giant inflatable dancing abortion pills that have been all over the city, protests, walking through the hotels, talking to delegates. And we took the song I'm Just a Bill and wrote I'm Just a Pill. And it's fucking adorable.
I love that.
And they sing it live.
They sing it live.
Yeah, they're
and
not lip
dance.
syncing. Yeah, they're doing
Remember
it.
like the old Alka-Seltzer commercial where the big, it's like that, but abortion. It's called Miffy and the Misotones, because of course it is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Have abortion jokes changed since 2022? Like, has what people laugh at versus what they won't laugh at changed?
Yes. Yeah, I did an abortion joke at the abortion show, and I was like, there's no way they're going to like this because people are usually uptight. I say this joke where I'm like, oh, people always tell me I look good holding a baby, therefore I should have a baby. And I'm like, I look good holding a baby because I look good, period. You should see me have an abortion, breathtaking. People didn't laugh at that before. They
now they're
love
ready.
it now. They're like, death.
Yeah. I mean, because here's the thing. For so long, people just talked about abortion with the handbook given to them by the right. We were constantly struggling with the morality of abortion. You know, people didn't come into it on their own. They would just say things that they thought sounded good, like, well, nobody's pro-abortion. You know, it's like, yeah, people actually are. And I get trolled all the time on the internet, and I just like to shut it down. Because people will say things to me like, well, how many abortions have you had? I'm like, I don't know, I don't save receipts. and then they stop talking to me. Because I can't have it anymore.
We simply can't have it anymore.
Can't have it anymore. We're not going back.
We're not going back. Marcella, what has been the funniest part of the DNC so far, in your opinion?
Oh my God, like Robert fucking Jr.
Yeah.
That concession speech was hilarious. I want to hear him after he drinks some Malort. Does he have a voice?
You know what's really interesting to me about
What?
RFK Jr. is the Kennedys have, I'm gonna really drop some knowledge here, been riddled with people who've done shitty things in their family. Right? Riddled. A woman drowns inexplicably, there's sexual assault, there's things. The Kennedy family has never issued a statement about someone being garbage until now. Right? So take them when they say, we have gone the extra mile to literally publish that our relative is literally dumpster juice.
He's a groundbreaking Kennedy. That's groundbreaking.
Yeah.
For real.
He is making history for that family. He just does seem absolutely vile. And even the stories he tells that are meant to seem like relatable, he comes across as being completely vile. Like, every aspect of the story that isn't about a dead bear cub he's leaving in Central Park is a terrible and embarrassing story.
Yeah.
It's just not the terrible, embarrassing part because it also is a story about dropping a dead bear cub in Central Park. He's falconing. He's going to Peter Luger and then directly to the airport. That's gross.
Well, and here's the thing. I need Tim Walz to weigh in on this because anybody knows. I'm from Minnesota. If you get a deer or a bear, like in the wild, you have to dress it in the field. We know this. You don't just pick it up and put it in the trunk like it's a fucking 12, 13 pack of like ketchup that you got at Costco. You know, you gotta do things to it. And you don't go to what kind of ghoul either mows down a bear or just goes, hey, that looks like good eating, and then puts it in the trunk and then goes to a steakhouse? That is just some weird meat fetishizing.
Yes, he did not dress well. So I became obsessed with this in part because it's such a bad story. Even his version of the story is quite bad, but his version of the story, it has lies in it to make the even worse version more palatable. Because in the version he told Roseanne Barr,
American treasure. Roseanne Barr.
sometimes I think that if Hillary Clinton had won, I would have just been a staff writer on an unremarkable Roseanne reboot. Like that was sort of the path that was ahead for me.
The Connor?
Yeah, the Connor. the single Connor.
The singular Connor.
But he said, I saw a woman hit the bear, but that doesn't make sense because she doesn't come up in the story again. And presumably,
Also, we know women always choose the bear. First of all.
Anyway, he sucks.
Can I just say one more thing about him, though?
Yes.
Like, you know, we talk about the bear story, the bear story, the bear story. So the bear story happened. Meanwhile, I don't know if any of you saw his fucked up. So I am a big fan of not using pesticides in your garden, yada, yada. You know, there's things you can do. So there's an Instagram video of him with ladybugs all over him. And while that's charming if you're 4, when you're this COVID-denying weirdo, like having bugs crawl all over you after your bear story hits, it just doesn't work.
He's
just not-
interesting. He's an individual.
An unvaccinated, bug-covered Kennedy with an incomprehensible voice talking about girls' menses. The user experience on this guy is fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Sorry I said the word menses again.
No, but I know. Are you 90? Are you the movie I saw in 7th grade?
Yeah, menses.
We all know that movie. You didn't see it. You're a boy. Fucking Catholic school. They sent the boys to the top of the playground, and they made the girls watch the Menzies movie. So boys learned nothing.
I was gonna say, I don't think you heard his voice.
Well, the word figures very prominently in a game called Bloodborne, but that's for another conversation.
I don't know Bloodborne.
So I'm going to the Minnesota Fair.
Okay. Yes, my friend, I am telling you. First of all, Tim Walz and I both have ribbon crop art portraits that have been at the fair. It is the highest honor in Minnesota. Do you know this?
I didn't know that.
Am I wrong, Minnesotans? So, I have 2 good stories. I'm sorry. So, crop art in Minnesota, you take crop that is indigenous to the state, and people make incredible art, political art, radical art. And if an artist decides to do your portrait, it is like, literally like, I can't even explain to you how great it is. So it happened to me 3 years ago. Tim Walz also has one. I got a ribbon. It was purple, but I got a ribbon. But my favorite story that you might not know about crop art. So the person that did my art, I said, has anyone ever been rejected to do crop art? And she said, 1 year, someone did a portrait of Bill Cosby. Wait. Did it entirely out of canola seeds. The other word for canola seed,
Yes.
rapeseed. It's genius, and it got rejected. Isn't that amazing? Brilliant, right?
Wow. Crop
Well,
art has so many levels to it.
You have no idea.
What is the crop they used to make you?
They did use some rapeseed, but just because it's pretty.
Right, sure.
They use white beans for my hair. They use black beans for my glasses, or some black. I can't remember. I have them all listed on the portrait. Yeah, it's fun.
Canola was a good rebrand.
Yeah, it's an all-around bean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soy is also the soybean, very popular in the farm state.
Hey, has anyone ever made art using plants out of your face?
No.
That sucks.
I will.
No,
I'll
you
do that
won't.
for you.
No,
No, I
you
will.
won't.
No, I will. Okay.
Marcella, have you ever been to a state fair?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm from California. We have the fucking best state fair in Sacramento, California.
Boo.
It's fucking huge. Oh, sorry, I answered a question. My bad. It's fucking huge
Here's the
because
thing.
we have a lot of land, and it's overwhelming. You can't finish it in one day. You have to like go multiple times to finish it.
I've noticed over the years that it really bothers some of these Midwesterners when they find out that the thing that they do that's very important and special and unique to them is something California also does, but it's like 15th on our fucking
Yeah,
list.
I don't know what to tell
because
people,
we're so
like-
big.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you have milk? We make milk too.
Yeah. I also eat corn dogs. Sorry. My bad.
The Democratic National Convention.
Is not at the Minnesota State Fair.
It is not. The Republicans have been trying to come up with a non-bullshit line of attack against the Harris-Walz campaign, and after 4 days of unobstructed, uncut Democratic excitement and enthusiasm, they've been failing. The desperation, it reeks a bit, which is why we're going to play a game called Rank the Stank. Nice. Yeah, that's right.
This is great. What a great graphic.
It's a great graphic. It's a great graphic.
Whose hand is that? I've never had a manicure in my life.
Yes, it is a little uncomfortable that those are just other hands. They're AI hands, but they're not AI hands, they're just photoshopped hands.
It's the same
It might be a
hand.
foot.
Could be a foot. Part of it might be a foot. Here's how it works. I will read you a desperate quote said by a conservative this week. You have to rank it on a scale from 5 to 1, with the 1 being the stinkiest, the most ranked desperate quote. Then the catch is you will not know the melodious quote that comes next. It's a blind ranking.
Okay.
I love this game. I listen to you guys do this game. I love this game.
It's going to be fun.
It's one of my favorites.
Here we go.
Okay.
First up, we have JD Vance taking a stinky little swing at Tim Walz.
I'd like to know how you were prepping for a debate with Tim Walz, who has described himself as a bad debater. Who's helping you, and how are you prepping?
Well, I found a good friend from back home who embellishes and lies a lot, and I'm having him stand in for Tim Walz.
First of all, it's such a strange sentence, right? Like, oh, you have a good friend. What's something we should know about him? He lies and embellishes a lot.
Yeah.
So do you have a better friend? Do you have a worse friend? What a way to talk about your friend.
But also, how do you know that's your friend if he lies about things?
Right.
That's not your friend.
It's not your friend.
He says she's your friend.
Okay, so it was a terrible joke. It wasn't like, we know some of the shit that's happened this week.
Yeah, I don't think it was very-
Would you put it out of 4?
I would put it at a 5 because it
Okay,
doesn't.
I'll
it doesn't.
take that.
Yeah, because it doesn't strike
Seller.
me as something
Not so
that's
bad.
actually.
Yeah,
it
it's
just sounds-
going-
It's
like
5.
it's like something that he would say at a bar.
5. I agree that that's right.
Yeah.
It's just like more lame.
Yeah.
Trying to be human. Trying to be human. Come here.
That is the energy he has.
It's so awful. I'm super nervous. This is so weird. Like, okay, can I tell this joke? Like, hey, I saw you do a thing, and I have a thing. That's
him. That is.
Actually, it would actually be funnier if he was dressed in drag when he delivered it.
Well,
Like,
Marcella.
yes, girl, my best friend lies and steals and cheats.
You're right.
Everybody be like, work it, right? Everything works better in context. That doesn't work.
I think he is in drag. Is the thing.
Ooh,
Next
wow.
Okay.
Ron Johnson taking his own stab at a Walz taking his own stab at Walz over, of all things, Walz's wedding anniversary.
Again, the mainstream media is not going to cover his background. The House is going to investigate it now. It's very strange. You know, he got married on the anniversary at Tiananmen Square. He's gone to China. He's taught in China.
I don't know if you saw the wedding photos. They are standing in front of a tank. It's really beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're
yeah,
holding.
the flowers on the tank. It was sort of an homage to Kent State and
Right, that's a
Tiananmen,
beautiful-
all in one. Just
wow.
one big commie wedding.
I just love the idea. It's like, well, he's been to China, so you know what that means.
He was a teacher there.
He taught
Yeah,
English,
I know. Have you ever heard him order off a menu?
No.
I have no joke. But you know, I'll tell you what though. In Minnesota, the Chinese food, people order like, my mom would always say, chicken almond ding is a thing. Chicken almond ding. So my guess is Tim Walz has ordered chicken almond ding because I have too. And also the crunchy noodles are very popular there. We eat Chinese food on crunchy noodles. People stay with. I love this audience is full of Minnesotans. I love you.
How many people are here from Minnesota?
How many people are you from Minnesota? My people.
How many people are here from Wisconsin?
How many people are here from California?
Oh, it's equal.
Where the fuck were you earlier when I needed you? The fuck? God damn it.
Okay, so
what do you think?
Ron Johnson, Tiananmen Square wedding. I mean, Ron Johnson's always just like pulling shit out of that weird ass of his. So, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty inexplicably like digging for the bottom. It's not.
It is, but it's also hyper specific.
Yeah.
Which strikes me as like he pre-wrote it, like was ready, was waiting. Like that tells me there was a little more thought to it, which makes it a little more offensive.
Yeah, I mean, Marilyn Monroe died on my birthday. It's not like, you know
You-
what, Ginny Winstead
you bitch.
fucking had a baby the day that she was murdered.
It's quite an accusation. Like, so Tim Walz taught in China, I guess became some kind of Manchurian candidate, comes back, teaches in high school, coaches, spends 2 decades in the military, runs for Congress, all on his plan, which is to wait for the president to get too old. Then have that president step aside, then have the vice president choose him. It's all going according to President Xi's plan.
But have we ever seen what happens to Tim Walz when presented with the Queen of Diamonds?
Something to think about. I'm gonna
Like
need-
I said, well thought out, therefore more offensive.
You know, I mean, here's the deal. When you decide in the 90s that you're the football coach who's going to be the, you know, counselor for the gay kids club, you're not thinking about your presidential future at that point.
Right.
You're just thinking about the gay kids, which was not.
Just being a good guy.
He's so good.
You know him.
Yeah, not to brag, but let me. So I celebrated my 40th year in comedy in December of last year. And Tim Walz declared it Liz Winstead Day in Minnesota. So December 18th is Liz Winstead Day in
Wow.
Minnesota.
Wow.
That deserves a
very
better
exciting.
response.
What day?
Very exciting. December 18th.
December 18th.
Yeah.
Also the day that the Archduke Ferdinand was killed. Makes you think. I don't know if that's true. I just tried to think of something that took place in
I like
history.
that. That was good.
It was plausible, right? It's not associated with a specific
I mean,
day in your mind.
If the day that I did comedy was synonymous with World War I starting, I'd be super excited about that. So thank you for
I just like
associating me with
Because
that.
you both killed.
We both killed.
All right. We need a ranking. We need a ranking on Ron Johnson.
Oh, yeah,
Marcella.
Ron Johnson. What do you think?
What do you think?
I think it's a 3 because there was some bullshit this week. I'm giving it a 3. Do we feel good about 3? Do you feel good about 3?
I love 3.
3.
All right. Next up, Jesse Waters tried to squeeze one last swig of musty mop water out of all things birtherism.
Barack Obama, still the godfather of this machine. He gave us Joe Biden as VP. He gave us Hillary as Secretary of State. Then he cooed Joe, put all his boys with Kamala's team, and had his wingman Holder vet Waltz. Now, the guy's a young 63. He's going to be doing this for the next 25 years. He's definitely going to interfere in this election. That's why we'll be sending Johnny to Hawaii to get the truth about the birth certificate. This time we will dig deep and find out what really happened.
Finally, someone said it.
Even that mouth breather, Janine Pirro, was like,
I also just like the idea that in this version of the story, Barack Obama created Hillary Clinton.
I love it too. I know. It's sort of like portraying Barack Obama as Roger Stone. And it's like, I think he had a job that was called president, so it's advantageous to have
Right,
him out there like,
yeah,
hey,
he's not-
this person.
He's not in some smoke-filled room. He spoke at the convention. He's publicly out. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like
Also-
I think this guy Barack Obama may have been pulling the strings. Yes, we elected him. We made him chief strings puller.
Yes, very true. With his henchman Holder and the whole pickety poopity poppity poo. You're like, what are you even saying? I mean, Jesse Waters, oh my God, it's proof that God has no quality control. You should let him through. Like, it's just like, oh, honestly, it's so weird.
Yeah, there's no little inspected by number 19 on him.
Yes, exactly. Toxic. He's like clothes from Shein.
Marcella,
Yes.
do you think Jesse Waters is like clothes from Shein?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy.
Well, they have that toxic, they're coated with toxic shit. There's
Are they?
warnings. Oh, who knows what I'm talking about when I say clothes of Shein? Yeah, so all those cheap clothes, they're saying now, if they're tainted with plastic, lead, GERP stuff, so be careful. Not only are they just made by tiny hands, they're also coated in lead. It's not great. No bueno.
Well, it's a lot to think about. Marcella, where would you rank this?
I mean, it's pretty up there. I want to say kind of number one. What do you think,
one?
Liz?
Well, we haven't heard, I don't know if the Ann Coulter tweet is here. I'm kind of waiting for that.
Oh,
so I don't know if
that's
it's
true.
gonna. I don't know if it's gonna
That's
happen.
true.
I don't know if it's gonna happen.
That's true.
But any attack on
We can
Gus,
go two.
Let's go with two.
I think two because that
yeah,
was pretty obnoxious.
Yeah.
This is how you know you're dealing with a pro.
Ew, 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 ew.
Up next, human dumpster reeking in the humid heat of Chicago August. Ann Coulter went after Tim. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, I've written some shows for a living.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: I can't get up. But we're doing great. No.
Booty. I can't believe you saw to the other side of this segment from this show, which is basically a low-rent podcast daily show. Yes.
One.
Yeah.
Number one.
Let's talk about it.
Made
Let's
fun
talk-
of. Basically,
let's talk
it was
about
a tweet making fun of Walls' son, who is a teenager and has a nonverbal learning disability, with the comment, "Talk about weird." Coulter did eventually delete it after everyone on the internet screamed at her. So you want to make that number one?
Absolutely. I was just really appreciating that there was a lot of clips coming up of all the times people insulted her over the years. That was yeah. Did you see like all the roasts compilations? I was like, yes. I'm glad we all as a nation agree that she's a piece of shit.
Yeah. But it also goes to the point that, you create a group of people that's a fan base, right? And so you want to make sure that, you've got this fan base, they kind of vibe on what you say, and that you've created a fan base that you were like, they would love it if I said this, right? And that's the part for me that makes me fucking sick to my stomach, because it's like, don't play dumb. And also, there are a lot of people that fucking like that shit, right? So, one.
It is it is sort of a double-edged sword in that they have over the last decades built this sort of radicalized group of voters that they can kind of electric shock into voting in great numbers every time they're told to vote. Beto O'Rourke in 2018, he turns out every voter he's supposed to turn out, but Ted Cruz manages to outperform anyone's expectations. The Republican machine does work, but I do think that one thing that they're paying for in this election, that the reason the weird criticism is sticking, is that they are strange. They are in a bubble talking to themselves, thinking that you can make fun of a child like that, thinking that it's strange that these people have healthy relationships, thinking that any sign of masculine vulnerability or emotion is somehow something that will bother most Americans, when it's been a long time since that was true.
But the problem is that they can. The problem is that they like it. That's the problem, is that they like it and they want it and their fan base appreciates it. And there's often times when their fan base, they go, oh, we're not supposed to say that? Oh, shit, everybody, oh, we didn't even know that. Because that's how fucking neurodivergent those motherfuckers are. Like, they don't clock that shit. It's fucked up. But that's why they feed into it, because their fan base does like that shit. That's
Right.
why it's hard to get people to listen to Kamala and understand that when she speaks, she's speaking from a place of sincerity, because she does believe the things that she says, and so does Tim, and so does their children, and so they're not used to realizing that the things that people are saying is actually true to who they are. And that's why when you see something like that and they react, they are so warped in their minds and they agree with each other, and that's what is so depressing. And there's no joke here, it's just fucking depressing, because we can sit here and talk shit about it, but these people are real and they sit amongst us and they live amongst us, and it's very frustrating to know that these people love that shit. They love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that it is a minority view, and I think that what has to happen is we need to defeat this brand of republicanism so thoroughly that the leadership of the craven leadership, the ambitious, valueless leaders of the Republican Party realize that this version, it's not just morally reprehensible, it's just bad business.
Right.
They got to figure out it's
Right.
bad business.
Right.
Because I do think this is, these leaders see where the base is going and they run ahead so that they can lead them. But over time, if you have enough, there needs to be that feedback mechanism, the base, the Republican leaders feeding to the base sort of boundaries again. Slowly but surely, Republican leaders realizing they need to buck the base in certain ways, in small ways, over time, to slowly moderate this version of the Republican Party. The only way to get there is by rooting it out.
But the question I have is, though, I think I hear your point and I think it's right, but I also think too that when you say that they need to write that, there's a group of people, and I would say as a woman, queer folks, black and brown folks, we know that this goes a little bit deeper than, because when they attack, like just attacking Hillary Clinton for her weird pizza thing and all, the political shit, but how is it if a group of people make fun of Gus, that's not political, that's shitting on a child, and that's a different moral framework for me, right? And so it's sort of twofold, the humanity of the Joe Roganization of America, which I think is different. I think they're two lanes that feed the same beast, but I think that Joe Rogan beast creates that kind of shit on top of the other thing, right? So it's a two-pronged ugliness for me.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think, yeah.
But I will also say that it does feel like just even her deleting it, it's like slowly crumbling, because watching Ronda Rousey apologize for sharing Sandy Hook conspiracy theories, I feel like we're getting just like they're finally cutting, they're like the ice, they're just kind of getting off a little bit, and we're finally getting like what they're really about, and I don't think they know what they're really about.
Yeah. Yes, it's about consequences. Consequences.
Yes.
There need to be political consequences. We have to, whether it's Ronda Rousey, whether it's Donald Trump, we just got to show them that it's bad for business.
Yeah.
All right, last
Oh, yes.
one.
So Gus is
Speaking
one.
of,
Gus is one.
Gus is one.
Gus is one.
Gus is one.
Good call. Good
And finally,
instinct.
we have this
Good
wild
instinct.
swing from Donald Trump, who said this about Kamala Harris.
But I say that I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
I think we found the perfect place for that. So in fifth, we have JD Vance. I know that. I know how to, I can remember 5 things. In fifth, I'm not sure. In fifth, we have JD Vance saying that. In fourth, we have Donald Trump saying he's more beautiful than Kamala Harris. In third, we have Ron Johnson saying that he's been to China. That makes me suspicious. In second place, we have. In second place,
Fox News.
we have Jesse Waters, and in first place, we have Ann Coulter. So we have now
We did it.
ranked
We
the
did
Stank.
it.
I think that's great.
Thank you to Marcella and Lizz.
Thank you for helping us.